Hello, I'm Stuart Johnstone and my debut novel Out in the Cold is out this November. Before I turned to writing, I had a previous career as a police officer, a career that spanned 10 years. It was a wide and varied career, but it was the first 2 years that stand out most in the memory. This period is referred to as your probationary period, where you don't know whether you'll make it to be a fully fledged police officer or not. And in that time you are given a tutor constable, somebody who's the same rank as you but has a lot more experience that they can pass on, teach you how to do the job. And those 2 years I got John. Out in the Cold was born from an incident that John and I attended in my first year. Now I've attended far more grisly, gruesome and dangerous incidents than this particular one, but it was this incident that we attended. It was a sense of, it was something that almost happened rather than something that happened, and it haunted me for years even after I left the police. And I knew at some point I would have to write that story down. As I wrote it, I realised that it was very much a jumping off point for a much larger story, and so Out in the Cold was born. Interestingly, I recently tracked John down. John had retired after the first 2 years of my probation period. I was kind of his last project. I like to think he did a good job. I remember we sat in his living room and we reminisced about old tales, all the old stories from our two years together. And at one point I brought this story up, this one that gave rise to the novel. I wondered if he remembered it in the same way that I did, if it had affected him in the same way. And when I mentioned the beginning of the story, there was a change of atmosphere in the room, and yeah, it turned out that John remembered this incident exactly the way that I did.